What up? This is your boy, Doughboy.
And I'm G.I. Sloppy Joe.
And this is another installment. It started off on the left-hand side.
Righteous and ratchet and righteous and ratchet and righteous. Is my mic good, D's?
I got a new jacket.
Josh is not here today. He stayed in Orlando with his friends. Kev,
Yeah,
don't get
I'm
my
gonna
hang
get
out
a
with
top
friends.
golf. I wanna
Ain't
do
good
cool
top
teams.
golf with Michael Eddie, Ernie Chavarria. I'm Josh. I'm little.
I just lost my complete train
By the
of
way, Josh, people have been pulling up to the show asking for pictures with Josh. And
Absolutely.
It makes him
Josh is turning into another
uncomfortable.
celebrity.
You are looking at the wrong camera.
Oh, sorry.
You know why Doughboy's looking at this camera? Because we're going live on our Patreon. What up to the Right Pack? Now you can look there.
Right pack.
Right Pack people are watching this episode as we shoot it, which is Tuesday at 1:56. So they're aware of the episode at the moment. They'll also get another bonus episode later on this week. If you're not on Patreon and you're watching this on Wednesday and you don't get another bonus episode later this week. So if you want to get more, visit www.righteousandratchet.com and join the Patreon. $5 a month gets you the double the righteous and double the ratchet. Are you ready for today's episode?
Yeah, you like my new jacket?
I do. You're just like a mustard bottle.
No, I thought it was.
Le
nice.
Tigre.
I like it. It's lit. Yes, I'm
Where'd
ready.
you get it from?
Shoe Palace.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, we are in the mix. We're
Yeah.
having fun. Shout out to everybody watching. And let's get the show started without any further to-do. The talk of the town, Tinseltown.
Dude, no, man. Game of Thrones.
Oh, you start with that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The title of this episode is Nobody Cares If You Don't Watch Game of Thrones. Because nobody cares if you don't watch Game of Thrones,
Why do you
bruh.
feel like this, Kevin?
Because I love Game of Thrones.
Yes, you do.
Okay? And I
No,
like
you like
Beyonce.
Game of Scones.
I like Dang. That was really
Caught
funny.
you right between the gloves.
That was a body blow. Listen, not liking popular things does not make you interesting.
No.
Everybody doesn't like or watch something that a lot of people like. Why do people feel the need to say, oh, you know who's never seen an episode of that?
Me, because you're stupid.
I never seen that. That's so overrated. Let me tell you what. I love the show. Okay?
Clearly.
And listen, people need their distractions. The world sucks.
It really do,
Sweaty
though.
balls.
Oh, wow.
So sometimes I want to think about a magical world where dragons exist and people are fighting because I just don't want to think about student loans.
Are there black people in the show at all?
There's a couple. There's racist. This part of the country is racist, actually.
So there's racism even in the
Even in
the mythical world.
Are you black? A dragon breathing fire, I'll allow. A black person? That's where I draw the line.
I always felt like they did that in the movie 300 too. Remember Xerxes? He had all that gold and stuff on. I was
But
like,
he was a king, bro.
But he didn't look like a rapper though.
He did, though.
Yeah,
He had his nipples
yeah,
pierced.
like, bro, what are you
fam.
doing?
But anyway, I don't understand why people just have to say.
People just be wanting to say stuff. Social media has given everyone a voice.
But why? Here's what I don't understand. It's okay if you don't watch Game of Thrones. It's okay if you don't like it.
Because
It's
I
okay
don't
if
watch it. I don't like it.
But do you go? I don't go out of my way. Walking Dead is a really popular show, and it's had more popular seasons. People be tweeting about it. I don't really watch the show. I don't like being scared. The zombies.
No,
be
Walking
scaring me.
Dead is so popular. They had a show after it called The Talking Dead where they would talk about it.
Yeah, you had a show called Talking Bread where you just discuss sourdoughs,
Really, y'all?
wheat, hoagies.
Bagadas.
But I never tweet, y'all watching The Walking Dead again? I never seen that show. I don't watch. Who cares?
Because I think because you're content in your life and you stay in your own envelope of the things that are important to you and you don't bounce out of it. People just be, you know what I really think it is?
What
People
is
be
it?
feeling, because I felt like this when we was coming back from the airport and you and Tony and the driver were having the most interesting conversation for like 30 minutes about Game of Thrones. I was just sitting there like,
So because you can't get in on it.
I felt like I was standing on the outside of an inside joke. And that's why I felt like they be feeling.
So
I
is
just
the
don't care
entry
enough.
point to be like, well, I don't even watch that.
That's where people, I think it's just like, it's almost like one of those deflective things where it's like, nobody even asked you and then you say something.
Yes.
It's
So
like,
this dude
I don't
today
care.
was like, I've been posting my Game of Thrones power rankings just because it's fun. Man, I like talking about the show. I like talking about it on social media with people who like it, like-minded people. We be
You
trading
like
theory.
it?
I like it.
Right.
Somebody hopped in my comments today. I deleted his comment. But
We've been deleting and blocking people
man,
heavy.
I
Don't play
wanna
games.
hear it. Let me introduce you to darkness. Don't worry. You don't got to worry about this video ever
ain't
again.
gonna hold
You're
you.
blocked. But he was like, Game of Thrones is overrated.
Bro, shut up. Just be.
Even if that
you
is
don't have
true.
to say words.
Bro, if there's here's my thing though. Say you're an Instagram creator, which you are, and you like whatever it is. Say you love country music, and you're like, yo, I love Leanne Rimes' new album or Toby Keith. I would never go on your page where you're talking about country music with other country music fans and be like, I don't even like country.
It's like, then why? First of all, no one even asked you. Second of all, shut up.
I just scroll on by the things that don't concern me. I let people live their life. I want everyone to do what I want them to do.
You know what I honestly see too? People just be wanting to get a reaction. They just want you to say something.
Let me
just
tell you what.
Engage me.
I've seen this happen on Twitter so many times. Mm-hmm. People will troll a celebrity, right? Mm-hmm. This dude did to Carmelo Anthony a couple years ago. You remember this?
Yeah, we were talking about it.
He said something about Carmelo Anthony. And Carmelo was like, why don't you shut your glazed donut face up? The dude's next tweet was like, hey, man, I'm your biggest fan. Why would you say that to me?
First of all, glazed donut face
I don't
is
even know what that means.
Flawless as a... I don't care what you look like. The fact that he said glazed donut face, I'm laughing. That's hilarious.
So the dude proceeds to be like, why would you talk like that to me, bro? I'm a fan. All his tweets were Carmelo trash. He's a ball hog. The offense dies when he gets the ball. When they finally respond, now you sad? Or people be like, hey, I'm a big fan of yours, bro.
I get that. I get that all the time. And I'm on no level of Carmelo, but people will just say stuff to me.
Just on the level of Carmel.
Shut up. Really? But that's how I feel like because like sometimes I do get in my feelings and I'll respond. And people will make jokes like, Doughboy's not even funny. Shut up. I wish he would just start drinking again. And I'll be like,
I've seen
who are you talking to?
People really said
that. And I'll be like, bro, that's not again. They be like, oh, man, my bad, man. I actually love your stuff, man. You be killing it on Roast Me.
The ADD fans were the absolute worst about that. Because of Roast Me and like how much we roasted on Great Taste, they felt like that's how you get in.
But I hate it though. Like sometimes people just greet us like that. It's like, bro, just chill.
Oh, man.
I mean, one time I was just walking by, somebody was like, boy, you built like a boiled egg with legs. I'm just like, what? First of all, that's really
it's a funny visual. It is a funny visual. I don't know why he said it to you, but it is a funny. Like he's like a little egg walking down the street, like do.
And then he was just getting over. He was like, "Nah, man, I'm just playing, man. Congrats on your weight loss. I love you on the show. I hate you."
You just can also say hi.
Exactly. Hello.
Hey, big fan. Can I get a picture?
I think some people just want to be responded to.
And I'm not even saying you need to like everything that we like.
But you know what I hate even more than people who just inexplicably tell you their opinion about stuff you didn't ask?
Vegetables.
Walked right into that one. You know what? Pop.
Cauliflower?
No, I really hate people that spoil stuff. That is inherently becoming... When did we start...
Here's
spoil culture. No, you give me a minute.
I'm asking.
Let me say a thing.
This is a question though. I want to clarify. Are you talking about spoiling like the Avengers or like Game of Thrones?
Either or.
Because I feel differently about them.
Why could you? How about you don't need to run online and give away the endings? Shady McCoy from the Bills just tweeted out like the whole the spoilers.
Here's how I feel about that. Okay. Is talking about the Super Bowl while the Super Bowl is happening spoiling the Super Bowl?
No, that's a sporting event. That's different.
Okay, why is that different?
Because
everybody can't watch it at the same time.
Because it's a live event, Kevin.
Game of Thrones is a live event.
No, it's not. It's a syndicated show.
Does it come on live at 9 p.m. Eastern? Now, it doesn't come on technically in the time zone.
Right. Okay, let me retort that.
Okay.
With a basketball game is going to come on from 6:30 to 9:30. If I don't watch it within that window of time, then I'm just going to have to find out what happened. Game of Thrones comes on at 9 o'clock. If I don't get home until 1 o'clock in the morning, I can still watch that.
So?
Without knowing what went on.
Here's my issue.
Working out consistently and... hard enough to see a difference.
Hello, darkest smile, friend. Here's my thing. A lot of these shows, Game of Thrones, Insecure, Scandal, Walking Dead, part of the viewing experience is live tweeting them. Award shows. Now, the difference between Game of Thrones and a sporting event and an award show is Game of Thrones, I'll give you this. It comes on at 9 Eastern. It doesn't come on till 9 Pacific, right? Because I have DirecTV or HBO Go, I can watch it at 6.
Right.
The Oscars, for example, comes on at the same time everywhere. Right. Super Bowl, same thing. Here's what I say about this, right? And I don't personally spoil things. I don't personally spoil things like the Avengers. Tony Baker is another story. But I don't spoil things like the Avengers because that's something that I give people the weekend before I talk about it.
Why even spoil it though? Why not just be like, I loved it, it was cool without spoiling it?
Because I want to talk about it on my social media. Now listen though. But I don't talk about, I didn't say anything about Avengers until Monday.
Right.
Game of Thrones, bro, we talking about it. If you can't watch it.
I don't like that.
If you can't watch it, get off the internet.
But there's other reasons to be on the internet than to be getting stuff spoiled for you.
Here's the thing. Here's what I don't understand.
I don't have time. Like, I work too much.
You don't.
I do. I be busy.
You be doing what?
Stuff.
Do.
Why is that the music you think that goes on in my head as I walk?
You walk to the store. Whether you want people to spoil Game of Thrones or not is irrelevant. People are going to tweet about that show as it happens.
I hate
you
that.
complaining about it you can't control a dude in Iowa tweeting about what's happening.
So, but your argument makes no sense because
How?
How can you feel about it for one thing but not another? It's cool to do it for Game of Thrones, but not for a movie.
Well, here's the thing: a movie happens. It's not a live appointment viewing thing.
Right.
It's not like Avengers comes on
saying.
at Friday
Okay,
at this time. So I'm like,
so
okay.
you're saying is when it comes on, it's free game to talk about it.
Yes, this is the
movie
beginning.
is something different.
Yeah, we saw Avengers. First of all, we saw the Avengers in Florida at one of the first showing we could go to. It was like 7 o'clock.
I didn't realize how dorky y'all really were until we went to go watch the
Why are we dorky?
Y'all was yelling at the screen, jumping up and down. I was just sitting there like, man.
Only because you didn't like it?
No, I did not like it. I just was just everybody in the theater. There's people coming.
If it was a live barbecue competition, you'd be like, "Oh my gosh, what he did with that smoked brisket! I haven't seen a smokehouse rub
you know
like
what
that."
I just did what you said other people did. You're right.
Because you don't like Game of Thrones.
Right.
You love the Games album. Nobody
That's
calls
fire,
you a dork.
and it changes your life every
What
time
show
you
do you
listen
like?
to it. What show do I like? I like Breaking Bad. I like Chicago Black Ink.
Black Ink?
Black Ink Chicago and regular Black Ink. I like ratchet shows. I know it's hard to tell by looking at me. I can be really ratchet at times. I don't really have shows. I think that's really what be making me mad, though. I don't have a show that I'm like super into, and y'all do.
But why are you a dork if you like the movies? The Marvel movie.
I don't know. You know, it's just like, you know how, when you black, young, cool, you be like, man, what's this dude doing? I was being stereotypical.
But you're not black, young, and cool. You're literally just black. That's the only
I'm
one
not cool and young?
Absolutely not young. You're 40 years old.
I'm not 40 yet.
In August.
40 is a new 30.
No, 40 is the same 40.
Is that
you know what? On that topic, though, people said your 20s are lit. 30s.
30s were fire.
30s are way more lit. I didn't have no money in my 20s. It ain't lit to be broke all the time. I had 2 small kids, mortgage, daycare, snot nose, doo-doo diapers. That's not lit.
But you had the boobs in the 20 and 30s. How did those, like in different decades, how was those different for
You're
you?
firmer in my 20s. Was that the food? Bless God. So anyway, no one cares. Right. If you don't like it, that's fine. People are going to spoil stuff. Now, here's what I think is jerky, right? Going out of your way to spoil something.
Right.
Right? So, not Game of Thrones, that's live appointment television.
Right.
I'm in the Army.
Salvation Army.
So, Tony put on his Instagram before he spoiled Avengers for my wife. And ruined my ability to watch movies with y'all.
That was just messed up. And now you can't even go with the gang no more.
What? Oh, so you having fun? She knew. Oh, really? So you know how the movie is, do you? But when Tony first posted, he was like, "Yes, I saw Avengers. No, I'm not going to spoil it. Go watch it." Dudes were in his comment. People were in his comments spoiling the end. You're just being a jerk. Right. But people, like you said, people want attention, man.
But it's not jerky if they do it to Game of Thrones because it's on and it's fair game.
Bro, since Game of Thrones.
What's the duration of time you feel like people should wait before they talk about movies? Just until Monday?
What the consideration of the internet or people who don't want to spoil movies, it's Monday morning.
Monday morning cooler.
Monday morning cooler. Give people the weekend. People don't do it though.
Right.
But again, for Avengers, I didn't go on social media until after I saw it.
Avengers, side note, 1.2 billion worldwide.
Bruh.
It's just getting spooky now. In a weekend? 1.2 billion?
That's more than a lot of countries' GDP.
What's a GDP mean?
Gross domestic product?
See, I'm going to need you to know what you're saying before you get
Gross domestic product. I was thinking of GDP and GNP. Gross national product is GNP, I think. Anyway, that movie generated more income than some countries can generate.
How did you feel like? Let's rate that movie. Because I felt like you were kind of let down.
I wasn't let down.
You looked let down.
I wasn't let down. I was fulfilled. Here's why. Okay, now the movie's passed. It's Wednesday of the next week. If you ain't seen it, spoiler alert. There's only a sequel can only be so good. Y'all ain't seen it?
I do, but it's okay.
Don't spoil it for them.
I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna spoil it.
Okay.
I don't know why y'all hadn't seen it, but I'm not gonna spoil it. Sucks to be you. A sequel can only be so good because I know the Avengers franchise is not gonna end right here. Right. So I know they're gonna win. I just don't know how, and I don't know who's gonna die.
I felt like the way that it happened, I was just like, "That's what this is."
Well, that's the thing. Infinity War. You didn't know what was gonna happen. Right. Thanos had been pulling strings from behind the scenes for all these movies. Then he pulls up and like, all right, bro, I'm finna get active. What it is, right. So there's like a genuine like, I don't know how this could end, right? Mm-hmm. So when it ended with him winning, I was just like, oh snap. Yeah. Like in game, I know they're gonna win, and I know somebody's gonna die.
Right. You just don't know who or how.
I just don't know who or how.
You're going for the who and how.
So I'm going for the who and how. Right. The thing that was great about it, and this is the reason I said it's fulfilled, because they called back. If you are a fan of the Marvel Universe, like I am, and have seen all the movies, like I've seen everything in the first 3 phases, except, no, I think I've actually seen everything.
I like kind of fell off of the universe, but it was still a fulfilling movie.
Yeah, for me. But if you've seen all the movies, they're calling back this from that movie, this from that movie. When Captain America picks up this is not gonna spoil crazy. Well, that's a little bit of a spoiler, but it's not a big one. Captain America pulls up the hammer. You go back. Oh, in that movie, he almost picked it up. Yeah. Stuff like that. Right. But if you haven't watched them all, like Melissa's sister hadn't watched. She's seen like 2 of the 22, I think. She's just like, why y'all so sided? Yeah. I'm like, bro, I feel like we've been through some things together, man.
And that's the thing that I think made me understand and have empathy, like you said, to people that hop in there and be like, this ain't all that, because I honestly was in there watching it, wishing I knew everybody in the movie did. Yeah. I was just like, man. And I wish I could be corny and yell at the screen.
I was tired. And I think my thing that I like about the Avengers is me and my kids like it. Right. So my son is texting me from the theater because he watched it with his cousins. That was the only thing that made me feel good about it. Is I didn't get to watch it with them. We usually watch almost all Marvel movies together.
But that one was this important that you couldn't win.
I was like, listen, I love y'all. I'm seeing it Thursday night. Because what happened was I booked the Avengers was supposed to come out this weekend on my birthday.
But they changed it?
Yeah, they moved the release date back a week.
Why?
I don't know, but I had already had my tour planned. Like I was like, oh, perfect.
You planned your tour around Avengers?
I didn't plan around my tour, but I know every week, my birthday is always the beginning of blockbuster season movie. Marvel has released a new movie on my birthday weekend every year for the last 10, 12 years. Yes. May 1st. So you know
what you're doing on your birthday.
Bro, there's either a big fight or a big blockbuster every movie. So one of the traditions for my family is my kid's birthday present to me, which is me paying for it, is we go see whatever big action movie is out that year. Right. So I left that open for my birthday, like, oh, we're going to go see whatever it is. So this year was Avengers. They moved it back a week, and we had 5 shows that weekend.
We did. It was a fire. Shout out to Florida.
Man, Florida was great. So I had to tell my kids, I said, look, I love you. I do. But I got to see it on. I'll watch it back with you when I get home.
So was it the best out of the Avengers movie?
No. So it wasn't my favorite, but I really liked it.
Were you happy with how they ended everything and tied it all together?
Yes. And the reason I was happy is because it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Okay. The way, the sequencing and the result, my son kind of hit me to a little bit. He be into it, but... Sorry.
You just told me to not burp.
But I said, excuse me, when I just said, excuse me. I said, sorry. You burped out, and I smelled Red Bull.
That's all you smelled was Red Bull, though.
Yeah, no, with burp and bile. Who are you texting? Tell Pork Chops you'll hit him back later.
I'm texting Pork Chops?
Yeah. What's good?
Hey, big head.
You got that thing on I like? Up. Lowry's. But anyway, okay. I enjoyed the movie. It's hard for me to fathom a piece of intellectual property yielding a company $1.2 billion in a weekend. Marvel was nearly bankrupt 10 years ago. If you would have told me.
Really?
Yes. The only valuable projects they had sold away. They sold X-Men to Fox and they sold Spider-Man to Sony.
But wasn't Spawn from Marvel too?
Yeah, but that was a long time ago. Okay. So they had no money. If you were and when they picked Marvel Phase 1 and they got RDJ, who was like a bust in Hollywood because he was I think he was alcoholic or drug addict. Okay. But he was like a pariah. And Iron Man was nowhere near as popular as the other like X-Men and Spider-Man. And they took him and they revived that whole franchise.
Robert Downey Jr. I feel like he was born to play that role.
We had this question. Me and Tone were talking about this. I'm going to ask you now. Okay. Can you think of any other actor who's more synonymous with a superhero character than Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man?
Ooh.
The only one I can think of that comes close
Michael Keaton in Batman?
No.
No?
Okay. Hugh Jackman is Wolverine.
Yeah.
But RDJ, yeah. I don't know who.
The only one you could put above Iron Man would be Hugh Jackman.
But do you put him above him?
Because Logan was the greatest movie of all time.
You love that movie. I like it. But you find ways to. I mean, like, Doughboy, the car at the airport's at 8:30, but Logan would be at 6:30.
Logan was a great movie.
It was, but
because it personified what a superhero. Like, I always think the inverse of what I'm saying. Like, I think it's cool to be Iron Man flying around doing all this cool stuff, but to see Logan like dealing with the fact that he didn't know he had a daughter and.
That wasn't his daughter.
Huh?
She wasn't his daughter.
That was his daughter.
No, it wasn't.
Why do you all in Logan?
That's not her daughter.
That was his daughter.
No, it was just a mutant that was like him, but that was just his.
Kevin, that was his daughter.
No, it's not.
We're not gonna keep doing this.
It's not his daughter.
You always be correcting me stuff and then you be wrong.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna call my son.
She called him dad at the end of the movie. She said dad. When she finally talked, she said daddy. Are you serious?
Okay, I'm gonna call Zay.
He always be saying like he be knowing.
I'm pretty sure that wasn't his daughter.
That was the whole. Y'all be bugging.
Maybe
was his daughter.
Let me call Zay.
Call Zay.
I'm calling. Zay.
Yes.
Logan, is that little girl his daughter?
What?
In the movie, yeah. In the movie Logan, is that girl Wolverine's daughter?
No.
I told you. You want to go against Zay on superhero stuff?
I will never go against Zay. He's a prodigy for his age. That was his daughter, bro.
Wasn't she just?
No, it wasn't. That was a science experiment. That wasn't his daughter.
Then why did she call him dad at the end of the movie?
I don't know, because he was a father figure. But it wasn't her biological
I
father.
told you.
Look it up.
You want to go against Zay?
I normally never do. You know I love you.
All right, Zay, I'll see you soon.
Bro, we're not going to do this. Hold on.
Oh, shoot. Hold on, my son. Hold on, my son. You want to go down more? Zay lives this stuff.
Was the little girl in Logan his daughter?
Sorry, I hung you up.
What you know about Wolverine's daughter?
Are you picking me up?
No, mommy's going to be there shortly.
All right.
All right.
I want to stay for an hour.
Oh, well, call mommy or text her.
Can you pick me up?
I'm shooting Righteous and Ratchet.
Okay, then.
All right, peace. Love you. Bye. All right, we'll pick it up after.
Okay.
But anyway.
That's his daughter. She called him dad.
Okay, but that doesn't mean anything. Women call you dad during sex. That don't mean nothing, does it?
I knew that was coming.
So who do you pick? Iron Man? I mean RDJ or Logan or Hugh Jackman?
Hugh Jackman, clearly.
You're Hugh Snackman.
Really?
I think I would take. Man, I'm gonna tell you. I know why they're both hard. It's gonna be hard for me to watch someone else play either of those.
But what about Christian Bale? You're not saying Christian Bale for
There's
Batman?
too many people that played Batman. That even though I love those Batman
nobody
movies,
else has
to me,
played.
Michael Keaton kind of looked the most like Batman, and he kind of like
Ben Affleck was a terrible Batman. Can we all agree on that? Okay.
I think because Michael Keaton was the first introduction, that's the first Batman movie I saw.
Okay.
But then in the 90s, everyone was playing Batman. It was him, it was George Clooney, it was Val Kilmer. Then
Val Kilmer was trash, dude.
That was just like Val Kilmer. He doesn't even have dark hair. Yeah. So then they rebooted it again with Christian Bale, and then they rebooted it again with Ben Affleck. And now he's out as Batman.
Already?
Yes. So Batman, just too many people have played him. Even though I like the Christian Bale movies the most, I feel like Michael Keaton was a better Batman to me.
Are you taking RDJ or are you taking...
Man. The thing about Iron Man is RDJ, he got that like snarky, rich jerk. But here's the thing about it.
I ain't gonna lie, he did. I feel like he had the strongest performance in this last one, Endgame.
Yeah.
He bodied
But
that.
Wolverine in the comics is a lot meaner than movie Wolverine.
Okay.
Like remember the X-Men cartoon? Wolverine was not playing nice. He was smoking cigarettes, throwing dust in people's eyes. He kept running to the woods. He was not about that. But I think that's a movie thing more than anything. But he had the hair.
But who are you picking?
RDJ. Man. I don't know. That's a hard.
Nah. Hugh Jackman is definitely.
I know who's the best. Halle Berry as Catwoman.
Oh my God. Was Catwoman not the worst superhero movie ever? Yeah, I think it might be.
No,
that kind of marked
the Incredible Hulk.
I think that marked the beginning of her fall off too. It was that bad. They were just like, ooh.
What has she been good in the last 10 years? She hasn't been
good in anything in a long time. And I love you.
What's the last Halle Berry movie you saw that you liked?
Boomerang? No, okay. That was fun. No. I liked her in Monsters Ball.
Monsters Ball was a minute ago.
But what has she really bodied it? I seen her in a movie.
That kidnapping movie was atrocious.
That just looked like it would have been bad for a Lifetime movie.
Hold on. There's something else after Monsters Ball. I feel like I was in college.
What happened to Holly?
She been famous for a long time. Same thing that happened to Will Smith. Will Smith went through a period where he could not hit a good movie for nothing.
Side note, he met up with the dude that
did
the Fresh Prince series.
He is literally
trailer.
The best.
Will Smith is just the greatest human being.
He really will put you and tag you on the gram.
Yeah.
My goal right now is to get tagged by Will Smith on the gram. Hold on, let me go through Halle Berry's movies.
Tagged by a new trainer.
I just hired a new trainer. Okay, Halle Berry's movies. I'm gonna go backwards.
Okay. So from most recent to
most recent.
Okay.
Kings. Did you see that?
Kingsman?
No. She was in the Kingsman too. Didn't remember that.
Yeah, small bit rough.
Kidnap is the one that I didn't
trash.
like. Kevin Hart, What Now? Oh, she was just there. Oh, she was in the thing. That's not really a movie. Storm, X-Men. Did you like her in that?
No.
The Call stunk.
Oh God, why does he keep making bad movies?
Movie 43, movie I don't see.
Movie 43? I don't even heard of that.
Cloud Atlas.
Oh God.
Dark Tide.
No.
New Year's Eve.
No.
Frankie and Alice.
No. Wait, Frankie and Alice was good.
Was it?
I don't know. I haven't seen it, but people said it was good.
Things We Lost in the Fire.
No.
Perfect Stranger.
No.
X-Men. I didn't like her.
No.
Bro, Robots.
No.
Catwoman was 2004.
What happened to Halle Berry? That needs
Gothica,
to be
2003.
No. Oh, that was bad.
We're taking all the X-Men's out.
Yes.
Were those bad movies though?
Yes. And she was bad in them.
Nah.
She was trash.
I don't feel like she was a bad Storm.
Catwoman.
Hold on. No, we all the way. Monsters Ball was 2001. Are you saying It's been 18 years since Halle Berry's made a good movie?
Can you tell me a movie since then that she's made that was good? She was so promising.
You know BAPS, which was in 1997, they're about to put BAPS on Netflix. Netflix has a new initiative, which takes us to our next topic. Mm-hmm. Netflix has a new initiative that they're putting more black movies on there. Mm-hmm. So that strong black lead. There's a girl I follow on. She used to work at Jiffy. Now she works at Netflix, which is crazy that you can work at Jiffy. But she was like the culture editor for Jiffy.
Peanut butter?
No, Jiffy, the Jif company.
Oh,
of course.
You know that's what you thought.
Why would you go from Jiffy peanut butter to Netflix? Like, you know what? What the marketing you did? Come on. No, Jiffy, the Jif making company.
Okay, I got you.
Or Giffy. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Jiffy.
But anyway, she campaigned to get more black movies on Netflix, so they're putting BAPS on there for a limited time. Which brings me
good?
to
I haven't seen it.
Here's the thing. There are some bad movies that I like. BAPS is one of them. They're not really Booty Call, BAPS. I Got the Hookup.
That movie's
no
like 3
one will
hours
ever
long.
argue that those are great movies, but I love Baby Boy.
You're not gonna keep saying Baby Boy was not a great movie.
Let's pause that and keep going to the topic because we're gonna talk about John Singleton there.
Okay.
Apple, Netflix, and I think it was Disney or one other big company. They are no longer requiring college. They're no longer requiring you to have a college degree to get their job.
I'm all in agreement with that. I don't feel like college degrees make you more qualified to do certain jobs. Now, certain things like
technical things
and
I feel like lawyers, doctors, engineers, you should go to extra training.
Well, no, because I know people that work on cars that ain't never been to college.
I didn't say mechanic.
You said engineer?
No, like chemical engineer.
I'm like, what my Uncle Bill be fire on the transmission.
Matter of fact, I prefer
he will fix your carburetor for a 24-pack. Just give me a little 24. I just want to get my beak wet.
I go to this Mexican dude by my house. I'm pretty certain he don't go to college. I don't know. It's too tight. Go to this Mexican dude by my house. He don't even take nothing but cash. He don't speak that good English. No. But when I tell you, my man, my car be done in 2 days. And I had to pay like $1,100 one time. I was like, cash, my friend. Like, damn, that's a lot of cash. Cash, my friend.
Can I PayPal you? No, senor.
Cash, my friend. I want you to work on cars. People usually are good at cars, been working on cars their whole life.
I thought that's what engineers did. I really thought that was
worked on cars?
Engineer? That's really what I thought. I was today years
You
old.
lying, bro.
I'm for real. Like I was like, we said engineer. I was like, yeah, engineer, fix the car. Like now that you say mechanic, I can get that. Like okay, but engine.
You lying.
I'm being for real. Just think engineer. He's the engineer of the engine.
You didn't go 40 years thinking engineers or people work on cars.
I always like engineer, fix the car.
You never heard of mechanical engineers?
I have heard of mechanics. But
mechanical engineers.
So they're called mechanical engineers.
No. Mechanical engineer is something else. Well, a mechanic is somebody who works on the car. A mechanical engineer is an engineer who works in mechanics.
But there's engines in cars. There are engines in cars.
You can be a chemical engineer. You can be an aeronautics
engineer. But there's
an
engine in a car. Can we agree to that? So can we say that it's not too far from base to say an engineer would fix an engine? Y'all be making it seem like I'm the dumb one, but I'm really not all the time like that.
The root word is engine, and you telling me an engineer don't work on engines?
Fair
point.
Okay.
But anyway, me and my wife go back and forth about college all the time because I feel like the American dream was a lie.
It's absolutely. It's a hustle.
Okay, baby boomers, my bad. Baby boomers went to college when college was not nearly as expensive as it was.
Right.
Okay. This article that I read that told me that was saying that college degrees, they don't prepare you for these jobs. What happens is people who are putting the jobs up, they just don't want to have to weed through everybody. So what they do is make sure that you have a college degree just so they can have a smaller sample size to the job. When I worked for Boeing, I had to have a college degree to work there. The job did not require a college degree. The job was literally as simple. Let me tell you how simple this job was, and I got paid crazy. It was crazy at that time of my life. So the way Boeing works is you buy an airplane, right? Southwest buys an airplane. The same way, imagine you're buying a car online. And you say, okay, Doe, I want a Toyota Camry. I want tinted windows. I want AC. I want it in black.
Leather seats.
Leather seats. You pick your
alloy
thing,
wheels.
Right? Yes. Okay. You get your license plate. My job was literally to take 10 to 12 pieces of information, like the wing, the line number, which is like this is where the plane comes in order in the factory. Put that in, put the start date, the expected end date, 10 or 12 more identifying things, basically like the license plate.
Glorified data entry.
Glorified data entry. And they require to have a college degree. Doughboy, I could have done that job when I was 14 years old. You literally email. I don't even know why this was a job. You would be my boss, right? Or not my boss. You be somebody in the supply chain, right? You get this information. You email, hey, Kev, here's the information for this plane. Beep, boop, beep, beep, beep. I send it to the next person.
That's it.
It took 30 minutes to take this information. Literally just like, if I was working fast, I did my whole job in 2 hours. 2 hours a day for 2 days a week. And my whole job is done for the month.
See, and that's what I learned that because I realized early on manual labor wasn't going to work for me. Back when I used to do day labor.
Manual labor works for you, though.
Remember I told you I used to have to break rocks all day?
That's a tough gig.
You hit it, be like, boom.
That's like you went to work with a pike and big rocks, and your job was
we used to have to break
smaller.
the rocks down, put them in a wheelbarrow, and then dump the wheelbarrow, dump the broken rocks into a truck all day.
Broken rocks everywhere. Yes. That's a tough
Because
gig.
I wasn't educated at the time. I thought that's all I could do. But when I got into customer service, like I would work for Progressive, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, different places. I always worked with people who had college degrees. And I had to be like, we making the same amount, we work in the same place. I ain't got no college degree. This is dumb. I'm glad I didn't go.
Now here's the dumb thing about it. They or we are saddled with student loan debt.
Exactly.
You're not, and you're making the same money as I am. We both making 17, and I'm paying the money.
Yeah.
Most of the time, if you don't have like an engineer job, the ones where you work in engineering, not on engines, right. You're not even likely using your degree. I have a degree in sociology. I don't have a sociology business.
Most people that I know that got degrees in something didn't have they don't work at all in that field. They just have it.
I found out. So in my field, I was like, well, you gotta be a social worker, which means you gotta get a master's. And I was like, I'm not paying for nothing else, and I don't want to be a social worker. I just kind of got this degree because it was easy.
That's the thing, and I feel like that's what companies like Netflix and other people are starting to realize is that there's a lot of great people that don't have college education.
When we were at ADD, I would say probably, how many people had college degrees? Maybe half and half?
Yeah,
but
probably.
Yeah. DZ, Serena don't have college degrees.
You know I ain't got one.
I know you ain't.
Hey.
But for ADD, what would they have taught you in college? The thing about digital media, there's nothing they could even have taught you in college. It didn't even exist.
Right.
And what they don't teach in college is work ethic, timing,
grind, hustle,
all that stuff. So everybody at ADD, some people had college degrees, others didn't, but that wasn't an indicator of who was a good employee.
And sometimes life can be your best teacher.
Yeah, especially in...
Think of what I learned at All Dev. When I went there and I just... Remember when I sent you that first script in the body of an email?
Yes.
Look what I was able to accomplish after 4 years.
Yes.
And I didn't go to college for that.
So me and my wife go back and forth about college.
With Kiara, I'm like, look, I just want... Once we identify whatever she is passionate about, if it entails that she needs to go to college, we'll have you go to college. But if not, I would rather give her that money to start her life.
That's what I said.
Let her invest it in a business.
What's college going to cost you? Probably $30,000 a year.
$30,000. So say $120K.
So let's do 100 easy.
100 easy. So you can stay with me for the time that you got to stay in college, and I can just give you that $100K. Whatever you want to do with it, let's go figure it out.
Here's what I'm thinking, because I don't know if I'm going to hand $100K over my kids like that. But here's what I thought. I've talked about this before. This Asian girl I knew, her dad gave her this buy a house or
right.
If I told you, my son, you can go to college, I'll pay for college. If you don't want to go to college, then I'll give you $100K, what I would have spent for your college, to either invest in a business for you
or get your house,
or put money down on a house. Mm-hmm. You can stay with me until you figure out what you want to do. Because really what happens is you end up working because you have to pay bills, but you don't end up working in a job you like. You just got to pay your bills. So you end up just taking whatever gig you want, and then your bills are X amount of dollars, so you take another thing, Ubering or whatever. But if I put $100 down on your house and your house is $250, now your mortgage is $500-600, bro. You could do pretty much whatever you want as a job. You could work at
now you own something, and now you don't have debt,
and now your house is appreciating in value.
This is where I come off on it as far as college and how I kind of view it. I feel like the most important time for us after we graduate high school is probably between 18 and 22, 23, before you really start to get a semblance of what is it that I want to do. And I just feel like, the kind of how the infrastructure was set up, they just was like, we're going to tax people for that time that you're figuring it out. And I feel like you shouldn't have to do that.
College
you shouldn't have to pay to figure your life out.
Yes, because college, somewhere along the line, college went, remember, when it first started, it was just for rich people.
Right.
So it was never for everybody. Then it was like, you go to the military, you get a scholarship or whatever, but college wasn't really that expensive.
Right.
Now college is an absolute for-profit business.
Right.
And it's a separator of people who can get jobs or whatever. So now you're kind of stuck. If you are like me and you, our parents didn't have it like that.
Right.
Then you either A, go work a job somewhere else, or B, get saddled with debt. So now, like Melissa's sister went to Spelman, she has a great job, but she also when she got out, she almost had $100,000 in student loans, most of which were private, which are hard to consolidate and get lower interest rates. This girl had basically amount of money that you could pay for a house almost. Like you could buy a house in some parts of America for $100,000, like a small part, maybe in South Carolina, whatever it is, right? So and here's another thing that I wanted to say. I was reading that article. I was reading some more articles about college. Somebody said that college student loans are predatory lending.
They absolutely are.
Because think about it. Where else would you give an 18 to 20-year-old access to $150,000 in loans with no job and no way to pay? You can't even get a $3,000 credit card at 18.
But I'll take it even a step further. Credit cards are predatory too, because a lot of those kids that be in college, they give them credit cards, $10,000, $20,000. Like you're setting them up.
Not even, they usually don't get that much.
Well, just they give you credit.
But now take that by 10.
Exactly.
$3,000. Like literally, you come out at 22 years old, $100,000 in the hole.
Just think about that. So you can come out. You can go to college and come out $100K in the red for your schooling. Another 20 for debt for credit cards and stuff.
Yeah.
If you didn't go to college, you'll be at zero. Or if you do things like we're thinking, forward thinking, you're up $100K.
Yes.
So you really got to decide how you want to.
And here's the problem, though. The degree doesn't guarantee the job.
Nothing.
The only thing you get is the degree and the debt. Sometimes you don't even get the degree, you still get the debt.
That got to be frustrating when you see somebody like me at the same job as you, and you know I ain't went to school, and I had checking and savings in the shoebox under my bed. And I'm there with you, and you went to college. That got to make you mad. I be mad.
I mean, yeah. We didn't make the same, though.
What?
We didn't make the same.
What do you mean?
We were just working at the same company. Right? But that had nothing to do with me working college.
Exactly.
That's actually the funny thing. Let me tell you two funny stories. One about ADD and one about the job.
Okay.
When I was in college, my last job prior to graduation, I was working in a daycare, right? Which I loved that job. Like if I could have made a lot of money working with kids, I would have, right? But there's no money in that. The money is in.
There's no money in daycare?
No. And unless you own it or unless you're the director. If you're a director, it's just paperwork. And
what you mean there's no money in daycare? You know how much daycare costs?
Yeah, but the people working in the classroom with the kids,
they don't get the bread.
Yeah, the owner does, the company does, but
not
the person. You get minimum wage, right?
I got you. Cool.
So, and I love that job. Love working with the kids. Used to want to be a teacher. When I got my college degree, I went to the boss. Hey, just graduated. Congratulations. Here's my degree. Was hoping we could talk about a raise. Of course. Congratulations. 30 cents. It's like, no,
30 cents an hour?
30 cents.
That's $2.40 a day?
Yes. 30 cents total. That was my raise.
$2.40 a day.
And I was only making $10
an hour.
I went from $10 a week an hour to $10.30.
It's like $47 a month extra. Why would you even? What am I gonna do with $47 a month extra?
I was like, what you mean 30 cents? I mean, if you had a quarter and a nickel, add that to what I pay you now. Now that's what you have.
No.
I was like, but at my college it cost me very much dollars and 30
That's
cents.
the messed up part.
She was, and the way she said me, oh, of course, yes. Of course, I was of course, 30 cents. Second thing, the reason I got paid more at ADD had nothing to do with college. It's because I had the experience working at Awesomeness and working in this field. That only thing that separated you and me was experience. And that's the thing about college.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but I seen that happen as well at All Def. Because when I came on, I was the lowest paid writer because other writers there had schooling and had. But I was like, I can write better than you though. That didn't matter.
It doesn't matter
because that piece of paper said they've been trained better.
Yeah.
There's no way to even tell who's better.
So the thing about the people who are hired, they went. If you worked at All Def, you worked at or went to AFI, that college, you get the head of production job. Even though there's people who had more production experience than you.
The whole system is flawed.
Yeah.
Throw the whole college system away.
Owning your own business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, I be thinking about, we talk about this all the time. We literally got a little company here. It's a baby. It's a startup.
We out here on tour.
It's in diapers.
You know what I'm saying? Selling our own merchandise.
You know what I'm believing in?
What?
Nepotism.
What's that?
Nepotism is when you put your family on only because they're related to you. Zay, you want to go college for a minute? You want to make a movie?
Same thing with Kiara. I'll be telling Kiara. Like, Kiara's coming down here to start high school, and it's just like, I'm ready to teach her everything I know. My baby coming down to start high school. I just went and picked up a little packet.
You got a high school child.
High school freshman, man.
You remember how much you thought you knew when you were in high school?
Bruh.
Oh, I thought, ninth grade, Kev, I got the whole world figured out.
See?
I used to be like, even 7th, 8th grade, I could live on my own. Man, when I tell you, bro, when I first moved out my apartment, that rent was due on the 1st. It was a Saturday. I thought they were closed. I was like, I'll just pay it on Monday. Sunday morning, I had an eviction notice. I was like, wow.
Whoa, wait, give me a minute.
My first time, my first month.
I don't play no games.
Man, I was like, oh, so y'all just want the money every time?
Every month. They don't ever forget
Who was even here on Saturday? Eviction notice Sunday morning on the way to church. I'm like, hey, you get out in 3 days. Get out.
3-day pay or quit. Why does that have to just be the only options? Can we talk? Pay or quit. The only two options. I'll tell you what happened.
Bro, when I was in high school staying with my parents, I used to buy so many Jordans because they let me keep my whole check at Burger King. Right. I had all the Jordans and everything. Bro, when I got that first apartment.
Oh, it'll get real on you.
I was like, bro, it's literally Jordans or lunch meat.
This is how I know I'm getting old. You know how much rent was for my first apartment?
6 pence.
I set myself up for that one. $425.
Wow. My first apartment.
I graduated in 97.
$550.
Old. $550?
$550. And mind you, that felt like $2,000.
Oh, absolutely.
I was like, man, how am I going to get $550
every month?
I'm going to save $150 from each check. I used to get paid weekly. I'm going to save $150 from each check.
Yeah.
Huh, you know how happy I'd be if my rent was $500 now?
$500.
LA don't. You couldn't even get a piece of a carpet for $500.
Yo, speaking of sports executives that have left their teams abruptly, Magic Johnson. Let's talk about
the best segue you've ever done. I mean, you literally just jumped in head first.
This is so funny. So the Lakers, Magic Johnson had been working them as head of basketball operations for the past couple of years. He abruptly just quits. Everybody's like, why did he quit? This is the funniest story I've heard in a long time.
I mean, he literally quit in the middle of the day.
In the middle of the day, like, yo, I'm out.
2:17.
Like the last day of the season, everybody was like, yo, what's up with Magic?
Have you seen that meme with him where he's just like, I'm not going to be here?
So he left and everybody was asking questions as to why. It was very inexplicable. This is so funny because this is one of my biggest fears in life Basically, what happened was Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka, who is the GM for the team, and she's the owner, they were talking bad about him via email, but accidentally CC'd him in the emails that they were talking bad about him in. Man. You know how many times I've done this before. I've been talking about somebody and was about to text somebody else, like say I'm talking about Denzel and I'm about to text you to tell you how mad I am at him. I almost, right before I hit send, realized I almost sent it to him. Yes. So that is one of the scariest things, but funny. Yes. And I respect Magic so much. Like, oh, word, that's how y'all feel? Well, I'm out there.
I quit
you
right
made
now.
Magic, make another Magic.
And and the funny thing is, Magic was basically like, I'm quitting because I want to talk about other sports. I want to talk about other players, and I can't. He didn't even throw them under the bus.
He didn't.
Because if that was me,
I wonder what they said.
I would have had all type of veiled things. You know what I'm saying?
I believe screenshots would have been up.
No, I'm talking about I would have subtweeted them in the press conference. You know, I blindly believed in this team. I was a carbon copy of all the other great people. Mm-hmm. And the thing that made him mad is Jeannie Buss was supposed to be his girl, and she didn't back him up.
And she was talking bad.
Pelinka was going ham.
Pelinka is a buster.
Why you say so? Because he was talking about Magic?
I feel like he's not good at what he does. And I feel like he was hating on Magic from the rip.
And I feel like
now they have a mess on their hands.
But Bron, whom I love, whom I feel is the greatest basketball player of all time, fight me, Jordan fans. Bron over Broned. He thought he was going to get Anthony Davis. He didn't. He hung them young kids out to dry. The trade didn't go through. Trade deadline passed.
That hairline starting to go back again.
They just were looking at him, and he's just like, y'all still here? Because usually when Bron does his stuff, people get traded. Or people get signed. This is the first time I ever seen him do his stuff.
There is nothing worse than being like, everybody can be traded. Only people that are untouchable is LeBron. Whoever, and he out there talking to coaches and stuff, and then nobody gets traded. He's like, hey, guys, let's go out here and get a W. Shut up. Shut up, you. They'll never play with him again. Like,
oh, they absolutely will.
You think
he's
so?
He's still LeBron James. You say all that stuff you want.
But what do you think he's going to do now?
LeBron?
Yeah, because this is a mess.
You think LeBron?
This is a circus.
LeBron has senioritis. This man don't care. He knows he's not on a team.
But see, that's why this is what I think excludes him from the GOAT conversation sometimes. These are your last couple years.
You be in the Curry GOAT conversation.
Why didn't he just Tim Duncan himself, find a place where he could be a role player and get a couple more rings?
I'm going to tell you what happened. LeBron James shifted the dynamic of the NBA landscape.
He did.
When he beat the Golden State Warriors, Kevin Durant was like, I can't beat them with these people. I'm joining them. As great as LeBron is, the Lakers team he was on, he's not equipped to beat the Warriors.
Yeah.
They got potentially 4 Hall
But why not go to the Rockets and team
LeBron?
Up? Yeah.
Because LeBron is done.
You moved to LA just to do a movie. Then you should just quit.
No.
That's my inherent problem starting to have with him.
No.
Because I don't feel like you have that desire to. No, seriously. I think that's why people get at him, because I think Michael would win by any means necessary.
No.
I feel like LeBron just went there to be like.
Let me tell you something.
Tell me something.
Let me tell you something else.
Listen to this.
LeBron James has other aspirations. That does not mean you are a better player than him.
Well, okay.
Just because you want to do something else, nothing. LeBron James could average 50 points, 30 rebounds, 25 assists this season. He still wasn't going to win the championship.
But this is what I'm saying then. In the grand scheme of whatever it is, what is LeBron making? 30 mil a year, 35?
20, I think.
So 20 mil. In the grand scheme of things, $60 million over 3 years for LeBron is not going to affect his life in the least. He's almost a billionaire. So if you're going to take your last 3 years and you're going to say you want to play, why don't you go someplace where you can be competitive? You didn't need to go to L.A. just to be there.
I'm going to tell you what
this
is what I think the plan was. That part of his career he's setting up. The second part was the Golden State Warriors had 2 or 3 more years where it didn't matter what they were going to do. He wasn't going to beat them. Let me come to a young team with a lot of cap space, hopefully develop some of these guys and try to recruit a Kawhi, Kevin Durant, Kyrie.
Something just went left and that didn't happen.
No, what happened is the expectations are he needs to win a championship every year. That's not realistic. Right. So let me take a year and play. I'm not going to win, but I'm going to play, and hopefully I get Kawhi or Kyrie, and hopefully Lonzo or Ingram or Kuzma develops into somebody that can help. Because you're not going to beat the Warriors. Hopefully, if I'm LeBron, I'm thinking hopefully they fizzle out. They hate each other. Kevin Durant leaves and goes somewhere else. Now it's a more even
now it's at least a possibility that I can beat the Warriors.
Yes. Or the Rockets or whoever, because LeBron and them were not supposed to win that championship.
But now he just has nobody there with them. Who's going to want to go to that circus?
he is still LeBron James.
Well, there wasn't nobody.
He's still LeBron. And you know what's interesting? His numbers were comparable to what he's done to Kevin Durant and not Kevin Durant. I think James Harden had the best year. James Harden or Giannis.
Yeah, he's still like 28 and 8.
Bro,
like,
he still delivered.
Yeah.
It's just that we expect him to win every single year, and that's just not the case. Now, if you're a Lakers fan, I see how you could be frustrated, but y'all was going to stink anyway.
This is true.
Right, DZ?
But I do respect Magic for what he did. I think
that's
gangster. Magic takes no L's in my eyes.
One of the things I wish I had been able to do in my life was quit a job like that. When they fired me from the bank, if you were going to fire me anyway, I wish I could have just flipped the table.
And he did it real gangster. So he's probably gonna go somewhere else.
I don't think so.
You think he's done?
I think
he looks like he has too much fun with his life to be playing.
That's what it is. I think Magic just wants to be liked.
Yeah.
And when you are the president of the Lakers, first of all, the Lakers are one of the top 5 sports franchises in America. Right. It's literally the Cowboys. I don't know what order. It's some of these order. Cowboys, Yankees, Lakers. Like no matter what, the Lakers win 0 games, you're still going to talk about them every year. So? If the Lakers go 82-0, they're
always a subject of something to talk about.
Always.
They're valuable.
Yes. Right. They're literally one of the most storied franchises in all of sports. So that's a lot of pressure.
Well, speaking of rappers who could have used some magic in the courtroom, Soulja Boy's going to jail. Never to laugh at somebody's misfortune, but apparently his shenanigans have caught up with him. Soulja Boy is getting locked up for 240 days for a probation violation. And the judge was like, I almost gave you 2 years. He said, you are going to prison to learn from your mistakes. How do we feel about Soulja Boy? Because clearly he ain't going to have the biggest 2019.
So wait, what is it the thing? What
they ran in his house. Well, basically they went into his house and they found guns. And he's not.
Wait, why are they going to his house? They had a warrant.
It was something random. I didn't have. Let's see what all the
Hubba Bubba is.
The Hubba Bubba. But basically, it was a weapons violation. So, however it was, he got caught with a gun that he shouldn't have had.
Okay.
Because he's a felon.
He's a felon?
Yeah.
What
you ain't never seen that interview where he was like, so he ran the house.
Yeah. But I thought that was a home invasion.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just wanted to reenact.
I was watching that the other day. He was like, he coming with the thing, chains on. He run through the back.
Shot him too. Sounded like he was playing a video game.
Pulled off the mask. It was me.
I died, came back to life. Hello. So apparently it's a weapons violation. I mean, you can check TMZ for all the deets. But he gonna do 240 days.
I didn't hear this at all.
It's on TMZ.
Dang, Soulja.
How do you feel about it, man?
I'm sad when black men are incarcerated.
I am sad too, but y'all got to start moving a little bit smarter. Like, if you're a felon, just don't have a gun. You're a millionaire.
But somebody invaded his home, though, boy. What you want him to do? Get shot to death?
Get an alarm or get security.
Alarm if they ain't going to stop a bullet.
You're right.
Woo, 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 woo.
I often think about that sometimes. Like, it's illegal to carry a gun, but it's perfectly legal to be a victim and get shot.
Legal?
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. You're not getting in trouble. Like, if somebody just comes to rob you and just take whatever, they can just do whatever to you. You got no get back.
I saw this meme that said it's a person with a gun robbing somebody, and it's like, and it has a gun, and the person has their wallet, and it said, if you're ever faced with a robber with a gun on you, do not give the money because it's illegal to point a gun at somebody and make them give you their money. It's like, but they have a gun on you.
So you really think that they thinking about that? Like, he won't give it to. You'll get, now I better give it to me now. Like, that don't even make no sense. That's just a stupid thing. So how do we feel about Soulja? He's just
I'm sad for Soulja.
I'm sad. He was having the best 2018.
He wasn't.
No, but I feel like
he did come up give us with Dre.
But see, that's the thing. And
Dre.
This is what I feel like you need to do at the end of the day. Take advantage of the steam. I feel like he was hot and he was what everybody was talking about at the beginning of the year.
You think he released new music? Didn't he release? Well, how is he going to take advantage? He was releasing music.
Drop some new music.
He did.
Do a new dance. That's what Soulja needs to do, a new dance. That's what made you pop. Everybody. Remember when Ellen did this? Like that. Get back. That's what I want. I don't want you to get back in the studio, Soulja. Get back in the dance studio.
But would you have rocked with a new Soulja Boy song or dance?
If there was a dance with it, I don't want to hear you rap. I'm always wanted. I still want to learn how to do the floss. I still can't do that.
That's because the children do that dance.
I feel
like we don't got the knees for that.
Yeah, you.
After a certain age, your knees be like, bro, stop.
Till I have a fire on you.
Yeah.
So man, so our overall consensus on Soldier is
he's very much sadder.
Yeah. So hopefully they got him in PC. I don't want him around everybody else. He in LA. That's a tough.
Is he?
Yeah.
I did some time over in San Quentin when I was watching Lock Up Raw extended stay.
You were locked up in Sandwich, Quentin. All right, now
let me tell you this funny story about Doughboy.
You're not about to say that.
No.
Okay.
We were in Jacksonville.
No, you are about to say it.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
We're in Jacksonville taking pictures with these people, and Tahir was stretching, and Doughboy said, "Boy, you in that downward hog position." When I tell you, I don't know what it was. I laughed for 30 minutes that Doughboy said downward hog. It wasn't even really about Tahir. It was just
about what
so
random thing. Side note, we be having a lot of fun on the tour. Thank you so much for taking me. I always say thank you to Kevin because he ain't have to take me.
Don't compliment me.
Appreciate you. The way you do one gotta go?
Stop. DZ be touching my head like that. I was telling Melissa about that, DZ, even back at ADD, man.
Really?
Yes, get your hand off my head. He be palming I'm a man. You report to me. I'm your supervisor.
He's still trying to wind him up. He's like, oh, but
imagine palming your boss's head. I'm palming your, hey, man, all right, man, I need you to turn those cuts in. All right, man. Get off my head. That was a problem with ADD. We was too close.
We really was.
I miss those days.
I do.
Remember this sometime. Like they took my friend. Try to block it out, but it plays again.
What song is that?
Every step I take.
Oh, God. All right, you ready for this one gotta go? I'm excited about this one.
Every piece of cake. I'm ready, dog.
We're doing the one gotta go.
Lay it on me.
This is for power couples, and shout out, look, Regina Hall, if you out there, the clock is ticking now. I'll check every day to see if I'm left on scene. I don't know what's going on. Don't block your blessing, sweetheart. Hit your boy up. All right, so this is one for power couples, okay? Power couples, and one gotta go. Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Barack and Michelle.
Woo.
Only gonna do 3. So Barack and Michelle.
You don't want to do Tisha Campbell and Dwayne Martin? Or throw them in the mix?
Ain't they going through a divorce too?
I don't know.
I think they're trying to split up like $217 or something. I want the 217. I'm sorry. I love y'all. All right, so Jay and Beyonce, Will and Jada,
Barack and Michelle.
First off the board for the culture. Now, mind you, let's make sure we set the parameters of this. You lose this couple and everything they've done. Everything they've done. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Now, off the table for me first, Jay-Z, Beyonce. Their music has impacted my life. Jay-Z is admittedly my favorite rapper.
I thought Drake.
Huh?
Drake.
Well, Drake. Okay, how about this? Drake is now, but Jay-Z was for like 15 years.
Okay.
So Jay is my number 2 now.
Okay.
So I'm recently joined the Beehive after Homecoming. Mm-hmm. So that's just off the rip. They are so important to the culture. And I feel with what they're doing with Tidal, the Netflix deals, they're teaching us how to be businessmen and women and entrepreneurs.
What they teaching you how to get a $60 million deal with Netflix?
Yeah. Because
I'm no closer to that deal than I was before they got it. They're operating business at another level that I am not privy to.
But what they've done is they've set the bar really high, even with them not just being artists and doing their own thing on Tidal and owning that. I could never lose Jay-Z and Beyonce. So who's first off the board with you?
Barack and Hussein. Michelle and Obama.
Okay.
Barack and Michelle, man. I'm going to tell you the flat out truth.
Okay.
I was fully prepared to die never seeing a black president. It didn't even cross my mind. It was a foregone conclusion that from my birth to my death, we would have white men henceforth, now and forevermore. I didn't even question it. I was just hoping for a good candidate to vote for. I ain't gonna hold you. When Barack was run out, they ain't gonna let no black men win. Not with the name Barack.
You said it in that voice?
Oh yeah. I said Barack, Senator Barack.
And I gonna let no black. Like, they're very powerful. Like I always say, like my thesis statement into dating is that I'm Barack looking for my Michelle. I feel like Barack doesn't become who he becomes without Michelle. I feel like he had to walk in there and say to her, babe, I want to run for presidency, and she had to not laugh him out the room and be like,
she didn't think he was going to win.
Did she tell him that?
I don't know if she told him. My wife was reading her book, and she was just like, I caught this section. She was just like, I ain't gonna hold you.
But she probably supported him strong.
She did.
So I'm always on record for saying I'm looking.
My children's first president was Barack.
Wow.
When my kids were born, who's the president? Barack Obama.
That's
You know how that
crazy.
frames their viewpoint of the world?
Right.
Everything is available
Anything
to you.
is possible.
Anything is possible. They're looking at the president of the world. I remember the first president that I remember was Bill Clinton. And you know, that's just how you see the world. Right. If Barack and Michelle, I mean, from their, Zay was born in 2008. I'm sorry, 2006. Barack took over in 2008. 2008 to 2006. So Zay didn't know who the president was until he was like 4 or 5 years old.
But he was black when he found out.
Yes. JoJo was born in 2008. It was literally like the majority of his life, there was a black president. Now, they don't really, like, that's not something you think about every day as a child.
But just the fact that that's in their brain and coming up how we came up, we never thought that was.
You know that's a powerful position. Absolutely. And to see a black man, black woman, I'm talking about Michelle got the same color skin as my wife.
She do?
You know what I mean? She is a deep toned woman. Like, my kids are like, oh, snap. So for cultural capital, they're number one off the list. Okay. For me, Kevin.
All right. Now this one might shock you. So now I gotta say who I'm going to be eliminating.
You got Will Smith
and now let me just say what I like about both power couples.
Okay.
Will and Jada, you have to also understand, Will, outside of Jamie Foxx, is probably my biggest inspiration on everything. Just the fact that he was rapping, he was acting, he was doing movies, and he used to rap with a sense of humor. Like back, I like songs like, you know, Summertime was cool, but I like songs like Parents Just Don't Understand or Nightmare on My Street. Like, he literally changed how I looked at rap. Like, you know what I'm saying? Jada Pinkett is one of my favorite actresses. I feel like she doesn't really make bad movies. She doesn't phone in performances.
Fair.
And I love what they are starting to become in their older age, like a very powerful couple. The Red Talk Table.
Gemini Man trailer lit.
Gemini looks good. I love what Will Smith, like how he has pivoted and transitioned to the social media era. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I don't like that because he's so good. I'm like, bro, leave us something. You had movies, TV show, and Grammys.
Right.
All I got is the Gram and YouTube and Facebook. Don't come in here and be great at that, bro. You see me?
You're making my point for me. He makes me believe anything you want to do, you can do. He did stand-up comedy, and I heard he ripped.
He ain't killed.
But I'm just like, the fact of everything he does.
That's why I don't want him to be on the gram.
Nah, see,
you post pictures like regular celebs.
He draws
Leave the gram to us. He be killing on the gram. I'd be like, this guy's good at everything. And he's so handsome and tall and muscular.
And Jada, I love Jada. I love what she represents, and I love their love. I think they're a family. I think it's dope. Barack and Michelle, I love them as well. I love what they did for the culture. I love the fact that he is the first president. I didn't vote for him. I did not. I'm on record for saying that. Listen, but when I say things like that, people be like, yo, you're ignorant or whatever. Look, I wasn't taught the value of voting, and I always thought my vote didn't matter. So sometimes my ignorance.
Politicians are dreaming for people like you.
Yeah, so I now that I'm older and I'm starting to get more educated.
When's the last time you voted? Well, have you never
voted?
For anything?
No, I voted for when I was dating my ex.
I know you voted for blue M&Ms when that was a suggestion. I know you called in and was like, purple, give me blue.
No, when I dated, you know, what's such and such, she had me register to vote, and I voted for like all the local stuff. But like I pretty much was like, who you voting for? Okay. So I need to get my political acumen up. But I do respect what he did. He's the first black president. They're a beautiful couple. But if one has to go for me, Barack and Michelle got to go. They just listen. But listen why.
It's been a great run.
Listen why. But listen why though. They have not affected my life as much as Will and Jada have or B and J have. I'm not going to lie to you in front and tell you that my life was that different between 2008, 2016 because we had a black president. I'm just being honest. What you're saying is
Trump's administration has had the best impact on your life?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Are you saying your life is the best now? Over the last
but that has nothing
years?
to do with the presidency. Like that's because of my personal walk and my journey. I'm just saying that my life.
You just say your life wasn't changed when Barack
I just said it wasn't heavily impacted. Like nothing. Maybe that's just because of where I was in life. Like
did you get Obamacare,
bro? No, I didn't. I just didn't have benefits. I was just living reckless. But that
was what Obamacare was supposed to fix.
But I didn't. Okay, I'm not saying he was a bad president.
You ain't vote. You ain't know about the policies.
So I'm just saying that, and I mean I respect what they did, but as far as impact on my life, it wasn't that big.
Okay, so I'm going to say this. Okay. It's between Will Smith and Jada for me, and James Z and Beyonce.
Okay.
Wow. You really picked.
But hold on. And I'm not doing this to ruffle feathers. I'm just being honest.
I know you
feel
what you feel.
But let me give you the parameters of it. The thing is, if you just say, okay, what am I going to lose? The fact that Barack was president for those 8 years? Or if you say you can never watch Fresh Prince again? I got to watch Fresh Prince. And I mean no disrespect to Barack.
What about the children?
Look, man,
what about the children? What about the future?
I mean no disrespect to the Obama administration.
What about all the people who want to be politicians because of what Barack and Michelle did?
I think that
what about the hope, the audacity of hope? What about that, though, boy? Don't be atheist.
Listen, man.
Don't be serious.
I always don't want to get on here and start lying. The popular thing would be for me to say something that wasn't true because I'd be accepted. I'm being honest.
I want your honesty.
All right, now who you losing? And if you try,
Jay-Z and Beyonce,
I will punch you in your mouth. How?
To the left.
Over. Really?
Yep. Well, you know this about me.
You go to the left.
Never a huge consumer of rap music coming up.
So I
don't have the connection to Jay-Z's lyrics as you do. Like I didn't dislike rap, but I grew up listening to gospel music. I listened to Hard Knock Live, Big Pimpin', the songs that are radio hits, but I wasn't allowed to be it wasn't allowed, didn't stop me for other music, but I wasn't just like, let me get this Jay-Z Blueprint Black Album.
Album. Beyonce, you've been in the Beehive for 6 years.
I have not.
You be practicing this at home. I seen you.
All the single gravy. Will Smith and really Jada, I've been watching her since Set It Off, Jason's lyric. That's like ingrained with my childhood.
Bruh.
Fresh Prince again.
Summertime, Men in Black. Legend.
I Am Legend.
I Robot.
I know all the movies. Mm-hmm. This is a tough one, but I would say bye to James, Z, and Beyonce.
And you would say bye to all their music. You never hear it again.
Mm-hmm.
Really? You can never listen
Fresh Prince is timeless. It's timeless. Will Smith has so many great movies.
No, if you put Jay and if I had to pick out of those two, I'm definitely picking J and B. They're just too impactful. Way too impactful.
My life wasn't affected by their life. Everything changed in my life during the time. They didn't make up music. I did not have affected by the policies of Jay-Z and the Beyonce.
So you're losing Jay and Beyonce?
I consume, just in my life, in my childhood, I consumed more Will Smith content, probably more than even Jada. It's really Will Smith as far as I'm going. Will Smith just was in more stuff than Jada was in. And also Jada was in a different world. And a different world is the reason that I went to college.
Really?
Yes. I was like, I wish I would have went to HBCU, but I didn't have the money to go out of state. And I want to say something about that. People always get mad at black people for not going to HBCU. Some people don't have money to go out of state, period.
Well, we got to just stay in our backyard.
I had to go where my parents were near. I needed help. There weren't no HBCUs in Washington. And I grew up military, so I didn't grow up in the South, in the Midwest part of the United States where the HBCUs are prevalent. Mm-hmm. I grew up in El Paso, Texas. There's no HBCUs there. Mm-hmm. When I was in high school or middle school in North Carolina, I wasn't thinking about college. I didn't know about North Carolina A&T. And then the formative years of my life were in Washington, where I wasn't there. It's not possible to be like, I'm going to go to Howard and pay out-of-state tuition. Bro, Howard ain't cheap.
I think when I even did start to flirt with the idea of going to college, I wanted to go to a black college, and that was just shot down really quick. Like, you can go to City College.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not because we don't want to.
Right.
It's because it's not always feasible. There's not always an in-state college. So cut us some slack. And we were sad at PWIs.
I've never seen School Days.
What do you be thinking about?
Because I just noticed that black college movie and it's big.
You just be saying stuff.
I've never seen it. Let's do one more. Gotta go. Can we do one more? Let me redeem myself.
I don't know if you can redeem yourself for kicking the president out.
I wasn't kicking
him
out.
And the thing is, here's my thing. You're not even, like, I could understand if you were anti-Obama. Like, his drone strikes and his policies. There's some black people who don't rock with him for his policies and things like that. You're not even saying that. You're just like, but rap music, I need it.
But because it impacted my life. But just to be honest, like, Jay-Z is so inspirational to me from what he came from. He didn't come from money. He didn't come from affluence. He came from the
Barack
gritty
didn't
streets,
come from money.
But he came from. Barack also didn't sell drugs and shoot his brother in the shoulder. Like Jay-Z.
So that's your inspiration?
I'm just saying the fact that he came from a lot.
You ain't even sell drugs, bro. How am I supposed to be inspired by you?
I'm just
Jay-Z sold drugs and shot his brother and he stabbed on. This is a lifestyle I can get behind. You went to Harvard, president of Harvard Business Review. You were a senator. I can't get behind that. That's stupid stuff. No. Sell crack.
No, I just identified more than where I came from.
Why?
Because it was more what I related to.
You grew up in the suburbs of Sacramento.
My friends were selling drugs.
You weren't?
And to see him make it past all of that was just a real big Beyonce. She was a Destiny's Child.
How does that affect your life?
Because I seen her come from nothing and just build it up into things like.
What nothing did she come from?
Man.
Beyonce wasn't poor.
But she came up.
She came from, they were, I don't know, they were probably at least middle class in Houston. And she been famous since she was like 15 or 16. She had money forever.
I said what I said. I just be looking for moments to say that statement. I like to say it. All right, so let's move on. All right, I can now redeem myself. Okay, one more gotta go. All right, you ready? You ready? Candy.
You're gonna redeem yourself with candy choices?
Laffy Taffy. Jolly Rancher. Skittles. Starburst.
Okay, Laffy Taffy, Jolly Rancher, Skittles, and Starburst. Can I start first?
Sure.
Is all the Starburst gotta go?
One gotta go.
But is it all the flavors or
Yes.
just original?
All of them.
Of all these candies?
Even the favorites.
Okay,
Favorite
Starburst
Reds
is probably
fire.
number one.
That's off the board for you?
Yes. Plum, I don't remember what pack it comes in, but Plum Starburst
The purple one?
with the deep purple.
Why won't they ever just give us a whole pack
Bro,
of those?
give me straight up.
Those
Straight
are fire.
plum.
They're just fire.
Starburst stays number one. If they're at the perfect room temperature when they're just soft enough.
No, I like. Yo, like you would ever put them at the bottom of your Slurpee?
No, that'd make them hard.
You do it?
Why are you making Starburst?
Because
Slurpees
then they break
are
down
already
it.
sweet.
But they break down it. It's like they wagers. You know about that. Yeah, what you know about it? Speaking of Laffy Taffy, that would be my first off the board. Laffy Taffy, outside of having a hilarious joke, is delicious and times of fun. That is like my thing that is the kryptonite to my weight
The
loss.
only thing about Laffy Taffy that's bad is banana flavor.
Banana
Starburst
flavor,
doesn't have banana flavor.
Banana flavor candy in general is
Just
bad.
throw it out.
The runts, remember the banana runt? I'm gonna fire on whoever made that. Like, bruh,
Starburst knows better than having banana flavors.
I like chewy runts.
Chewy what?
Runts.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't like the hard ones. The chewy ones?
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Okay, so you're off with Starburst.
I would take Starburst first.
I'm off with Laffy Taffy.
And I
My
would
second
take-
off the board would be Starburst for every reason. That
And
you
I would
said.
take Laffy Taffy. They're 1A, 1B.
Synonymous.
So now get
we're
down
talking
to the nitty gritty.
Skittles and Jolly Ranchers. Jolly Ranchers can be dangerous. They can almost stab you in the mouth if you're not careful. They're a choke hazard for real. And you can get into some trouble with a Jolly Rancher. If they start slivering off and like when they sliver off and it cuts your tongue.
It's like swallowing a shank.
Then you say that you almost
I've choked on many.
one?
I don't eat Jolly Ranchers no more. They're off for me.
But they got the ones with the chewy stuff in the middle too.
No, Skittles Taste the Rainbow has great commercials, by the way. Probably the best commercials of all the candies
They
with
do.
the people with the
She-
face.
yeah,
on.
I
It's
like
kind
that.
of gross though.
It's kinda
like
weird.
when he had a breakout and she ate it.
Yeah.
But I was also like, it's delicious though, so I'll allow it.
Starbursts are good too, but
When I was a kid, remember the Jolly Ranchers, the flat ones that were popular?
those were even more dangerous.
Bro, you could fashion that. I saw Lock
You
and
could
Rock
shank
stand and
somebody.
stay. Somebody got stabbed to death with a cherry.
with cherry.
Cherry Jolly Rancher. He was
So
like,
you don't know whether to cry or be like, this is delicious? Like, ah! Mm, ah! Mm, ah! Mm. I don't know why that's funny to me. Ah! Mm. I hate it and I love it at the same time. Ah. Stop it. Keep going.
Oh, I haven't
So-
eaten Jolly Ranchers in years. I don't let my kids eat Jolly Ranchers.
This is why I would pick
You
Jolly
gotta suck
Ranchers.
them all the way down to make them safe.
This is why I will go with Jolly Ranchers over Skittles, though.
You keeping them?
I'm keeping them.
You keeping Jolly Ranchers?
Cherry flavor and grape flavor of Jolly Ranchers are fire. Apple, fire.
You be putting ranch dressing on them.
So what?
These are really Jolly. These are Jolly Ranchers.
Jolly Ranchers.
Man, Skittles has so many good flavors. They've been introducing the dark Skittles are good.
The purple
sweet
pack?
the purple pack, the sweet and sour Skittles are fire.
I don't like those.
They also-
No, but they're getting,
no. Let me
they're
say
getting
this.
too
Let me say
ambitious.
this. Let me say this.
They're getting too ambitious
Skittles are also sold at the movie theaters. You don't eat Jolly Ranchers with movie food.
because you're eating them in the dark and they're a choke hazard. You be trying to enjoy it. It's like, it's just crazy like that. But you be at Avengers like, no. Look. But this is where Skittles is getting too ambitious. And let me just look into the camera for anybody that might be working for Skittles. Whoever told you it was a good idea to put that rough terrain on those sour Skittles,
yeah, so this is a little bit.
whip up the roof of your mouth, bro. You do that and try to drink some orange juice. Ah,
Why would you do that?
because I'm
Though?
stupid.
You put two weird things together and be like, you know, it's gross, this, but who's drinking orange juice after Skittles?
But no, you can eat.
Are you having Skittles for breakfast?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I have. Get out of my personal business. But you ain't never see, I try to max out on the juice.
No.
So if I get orange juice with the fruit juice of that, it's fire. But if you do the sour ones, that's like the Captain Crunch of candies. Roof of your mouth gone. And for that reason, I cannot
pray
stand
for
by
you.
them.
I pray for you.
I pray for you too, man.
Not for the same reasons.
This has been another installment and a fun one at that. Wait, and before we get out of here, we did not intentionally run past this, but we must give our condolences and well wishes and prayers to the family of John Singleton.
Mm-hmm.
He untimely passed away recently. Prayers and everything out to his family.
Let me take a second. Yeah. His movies are timeless. I was watching Boys in the Hood when I was like 8 years old.
Yes.
I don't know why my aunt let me. She just was like, man, I don't care.
Right.
Just be safe. I watched Boys in the Hood 100 times. I was just like, man, this is great. Higher Learning.
Baby Boy.
Right. He did Four Brothers too.
And he did my favorite show that's out right now, Snowfall.
Oh,
and it was just, it's just.
He made Boys in the Hood like a year after he went to college. He was like early 20, maybe 23, 24. He was super young.
A lot of people don't even know this. He directed Remember the Time.
The Michael Jackson video? I didn't know that.
Fire. That's one of my favorite videos of all time.
He gave us Ice Cube's acting career.
And he taught Ice Cube the game and told him, if you can write a rap, you can write a movie.
And he told Nia Long she was special. She said that he found the special in me before I knew it was there.
He put on one of my homegirls from Sacramento, California, Danielle Truitt.
Who's that?
She's an actress, and she did a show on BET, and I forgot, the name escapes me, but it was Rebel. He produced that. So
Taraji P. Henson and Baby Boy.
Right.
Her first big role.
He's known for that, for getting people that have no background. He's the type of dude that'll give you the shot.
Yes.
Like, you don't have to have a name or the right representation. He's looking for people with real dope talent. And I feel like we really lost somebody great.
And he was so impactful to black culture. Black movies. Like, he told stories. You know that they shot Boys in the Hood in order?
Really?
Yes.
Of like how it happened?
Yes, they shot it in the order of the script. Most movies they shoot by location and all that stuff to maximize budget. I don't know the reason, but they shot that in order, and that's actually that was a heavy movie to watch as a kid.
Right, but to this day, I mean, you can arguably say Boys in the Hood is the greatest hood movie of all time.
Absolutely.
Actually, I think it's easy to say that it's the greatest.
Your name, Doughboy, came from that.
I came from that, from watching that movie, and because I know I think I've told that story here before how I got the name, but I used to tell people that I was the fat young doughboy. I'd be like, I'm an actor. That was me in that movie. And
people believed it, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, kids are dumb.
No,
it was fat. So.
Yeah, he was happy.
Still fat, but you know.
hey, enough.
Oh, and so
speak kindly to yourself.
Rest in peace to him. And then, speaking of being fat, we still have our workout thing. I haven't been posting because I become a prisoner the moment I get too caught up. When I start to have some successes, I don't go hard. The competition is still going, though, and we're going to August 21st. I'm going to take his $1,000.
I'm going to take my wife to Jamaica with your money, and I'm going to post about it. I'm going to have my shirt off.
No, but every time you you remember that bitch, are you talking about the beach going to get whatever body you give it?
No, but the beach going to have a nicer body.
I don't know.
I'm going to be in Jamaica eating jerk chicken paid for by Doughboy.
We're going to see. So August 21st.
I'm going to send you pictures of my delicious meal.
I'm
eating terrible when I do it.
I'm going to beat you.
All healthiness out the window.
Let me just ask you this, though. What are you going to say if I beat you? Because I'm going to have Josh document this and take this piece of footage, right? What would you do if, for some reason, by some miracle, I beat you?
I might cry.
And that would mean more to me than $1,000.
And I'm not going to feel bad when I beat you. All y'all, Doughboy's got you, Kev. The underdog going to win. Put 100 on it. Ain't nobody taking
you taking our challenges?
Yes. Y'all want some side action on this? Tony Baker will set up a cash app. You can put 100 in. I'll put my 100 in. I'll take all of y'all money.
Woo!
I'm going to flip this into 1,000, 2,000, 3. If you believe in Doughboy that much, throw 100 in.
I got to beat him for the culture. So I give
What culture?
This is something that you rarely hear me do. I give y'all my word. I'm going to beat him. You never hear me say that. I give you my word. I never do.
Yes, you do.
I never do. I'll say something and then because
that's your word.
No, but
you literally don't say the sentence.
No, my word is when I say I give you my word.
No, your word is when you say you're going to do something. You don't have to say I give you my word.
No, your word is when you say I give you my word.
No, it doesn't.
No,
that's like saying, with all due respect, you're ugly. Well, that's not respect. But I said with all due respect.
No, that's not. No. When
Your
you say
word-
I give you my word, that's like a promise. Like you don't promise to do everything. A promise
You just
means
be saying stuff and you be reneging on it.
No, I don't. I do sometimes. But if I give you my word, I don't. I'm going to beat you.
So what happens if you lose and you gave them your word?
That'll be the first time that's happened. And I might cry.
Why would you give your word on something you can't control?
I can't control.
You
Because I
can't
know you're
control
not willing to
beating
go
me?
to the limits I'm going to take it.
Okay. August 21st.
August 21st.
We'll see. God bless you.
Yes, we love
God
you.
keep you.
And let's give
Patreon
them one more
people,
before.
we're going to keep this conversation going. We're going to have lunch. We're going to keep talking to you guys while we eat lunch.
But let's get out of here one more time and start it off to the right. This has been another installment of
Ratchet.
You already know what it is. We love you.
Goodbye to the online audience. Hello, Patreons.
Hey.